Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Манай нэвтрүүлгүүд олон хэлээр гардаг. Зачлах хаяг suprememastertv.com/schedule.
In 1975, he was appointed to be the Anglican Dean of Johannesburg, becoming the first dark colour-skinned person to hold the post. A life dedicated to South Africa's peace, the Most Reverend Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
The Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, mission is the actualization of the noblest ethical standards, and the noble thing to do in today's world is to be vegan. Sinira Shaikh, vegan.
While visiting sunny South Africa, a useful phrase to know is Molweni. That's how you say hello to a group of people in Xhosa, one of the country's official languages. Dear viewers, I am Zama. The peace-loving people of South Africa salute your wholehearted efforts to leave a flourishing vegan world for future generations. Welcome to part 1 of a 2-part series entitled A Life Dedicated to South Africa's Peace, the Most Reverend Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The Most Reverend Archbishop Desmond Tutu, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate who was instrumental in ending apartheid in South Africa, passed away on December 26, 2021, at the ripe age of 90. He was known as a strong champion of human rights and justice by non-violent means, and strived with great determination to bring freedom and peace to his fellow South Africans. The Archbishop worked to bring reconciliation and healing between peoples in his nation as well. He was also active worldwide in promoting HIV prevention, urging action on climate change, and aiding in conflict resolution. The Archbishop and humanitarian continues to be well respected for dedicating his life to realize a happy, peaceful South Africa. Desmond P1o2 was born on October 7, 1931, in the city of Klerksdorp, South Africa. His father, Zachariah Zelilo Tutu, worked as the principal of a Methodist primary school. His mother, Ellen Dorothea Maclare, worked as a cook at a school for the blind. He had 2 siblings, Sylvia Funeka and Gloria Lindiwe. His paternal grandmother called him Mpilo, meaning life, a name which his sisters later continued to use. Desmond Tutu was born at a time when South Africa was still segregated. His family lived in the schoolmaster's house, a small mud brick structure in the Methodist mission's yard. The neighborhood had little wealth and was inhabited by people of dark-colored skin. Desmond had a positive outlook, making use of every opportunity and resource in his life, and he enjoyed a happy childhood. In an interview with Academy of Achievement, he shared that he and other kids around the neighborhood would make their own playthings such as toy cars with wires and other materials. Later, in Rebel Rouser for Peace, the authorized biography of Desmond Tutu, he said, "Although we weren't affluent, we were not destitute either. As he grew up, Desmond Tutu received his primary education at the school where his father taught. He developed a strong curiosity towards knowledge and a love for reading. He enjoyed reading comic books, Aesop's fables, European fairy tales, and plays of William Shakespeare. He moved several times, following his parents as they changed jobs, and continued his studies at Johannesburg P1o2 High School. Although the school was underfunded, Desmond Tutu remembered clearly how dedicated and inspiring the teachers were. Under the tuition of the caring, dedicated teaching staff, he excelled academically as well as in sports. He picked up rugby and loved the sport throughout his life. Outside of school, he was employed in several jobs to help his family financially, working as a caddie and selling oranges. He also became a server at the Church of Christ the King in Sophiatown, where he met the Most Reverend Trevor Huddleston. The Reverend Trevor Huddleston was not supportive of the apartheid policy and culture present in South Africa at that time. One time, he tipped his hat to Desmond Tutu's mother, a sign of respect, and it taught young Desmond Tutu that people of various colored skin and cultures could live in harmony and respect. During an interview with Sir David Frost, Desmond Tutu mentioned,
I recall this white priest in a long flowing cassock doffing his hat to my mother. And I mean, that struck me as being quite odd. A white man lifting his hat to my mother, a black woman, and a black woman not particularly educated. She's a domestic worker.
Desmond Tutu later contracted tuberculosis and had to be hospitalized for 20 months, and the Reverend Trevor Huddleston often visited him.
And almost all of that time, Trevor Huddleston visited me regularly. And you don't know just what it did for one's self-esteem. Here is an important white man coming to visit me, and a township urchin. And yeah, I mean, his influence on me and on others was quite phenomenal.
This strengthened Desmond's belief that religion could be a powerful tool to unite people. His time in the hospital also inspired his ambition to study well and become a medical doctor to find the cure for tuberculosis. After graduating with excellent academic results, Desmond Tutu was accepted to study medicine at the University of the Witwatersrand. His parents, however, could not financially support his tuition fees, and so he tried to find other ways to further his studies. He succeeded in gaining a government scholarship to learn at Pretoria P1o2 Normal College, a teacher training institution. He gained his teaching diploma in 1954 and furthered his studies by completing 5 correspondence courses in various South African universities, thus gaining his bachelor's degree in 1955. He began to teach English in the same year at Maribani High School. In 1955, he transferred to his high school alma mater, Krugersdorp High School, where he taught English and history. He tried to replicate the dedication and high spirits that his teachers had. One important message that he attempted to convey to his students was that they should be proud of themselves, take pride in their potential, and grow to be the best version of themselves.
Vegan, because animal people are also God's children.
Let us now discover more about how Mr. Desmond Tutu became a priest and how he influenced many others to bring South Africa to the great, harmonious country that we all know today. When Desmond began his teaching career, the South African government at that time had officially ruled segregation and inequality as law in the nation. This led to the 1953 P1o2 Education Act, legislation that limited the funding, opportunities, and knowledge that dark-colored-skinned South Africans would receive in school. This made Desmond Tutu very unhappy with an education system that promoted inequality. With a heavy heart, he resigned from his teaching profession in 1957. Later, in 1958, under the encouragement of the Reverend Huddleston, he attended St. Peter's Theological College in Johannesburg. He became a priest in 1961. Desmond Tutu would also later train to become a theology teacher at the King's College London in the UK in 1962, when there was a need for more indigenous Africans to hold positions in churches. He studied for another 4 years and received his Master of Theology from King's College. Being in England allowed him to dream about a future for South Africa free of apartheid. He would assist in Sunday services at the church, ministered to the congregation, and was duly impressed by the freedom of speech in that country. Upon returning from England, Desmond Tutu taught at the Federal Theological Seminary at Alice in the Eastern Cape. He was the college's first dark-colour-skinned staff member, and the campus allowed racial mixing to a certain extent, which was a rarity in South Africa at the time. He also became the Anglican chaplain to the University of Fort Hare, which was situated next to the college. In 1970, he accepted a move to be a lecturer in theology at the University of Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland in Roma, Lesotho. In 1972, he went to Kent, England, to accept an appointment as the Associate Director of the World Council of Churches Theological Education Fund. In 1975, he was appointed to be the Anglican Dean of Johannesburg, South Africa. This was the beginning of a remarkable journey which saw him being the first dark-colored skinned person to hold the post. He worked hard and spoke out on social issues, often calling the people and government of South Africa to make changes to its apartheid policy.
Today, anybody can show me that the Bible supports apartheid. That day, I will take my Bible and tear it into little strips, and I will stop being a Christian.
We look forward to learning more about the inspiring Reverend Desmond Tutu in the next episode, as we celebrate the brave people who, through their actions, create ripples of change, making the world a better place.
Vegan, effective healthcare.
Kind viewers, thank you for your gracious presence today. Join us again on Sunday, December 18th for part 2 of A Life Dedicated to South Africa's Peace, the Most Reverend Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Coming up next is Vegan Sourdough Cinnamon Roll, part 2 of 2, butterfly and apple rose-shaped treats. May you be motivated to be better every day in heaven's benevolence.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.